Hey guys, it is Wednesday, November 13th. Bitcoin is at 89,900. We have been as high as 93,000 this morning. We've been as low as 88,000. We're just digesting this new level of 90,000. And today's episode is going to be about my wish list for the new administration. Before we start this thing, again, I'm going to remind you to hit the subscribe button. That gets me more subscribers on YouTube, which gets me more guests. And that's very important for us to continue to have really good videos here and on Bitcoin First. So with that in mind, here's my wish list for the new administration. My first request would be to get rid of KYC for buying and selling Bitcoin. And, I was inspired by this by Stephen Lubka at Swan. And Stephen Lubka posted, Elon Musk, you must get rid of KYC regulations. It costs companies billions each year, and it does practically nothing to stop fraud. Financial regulations are some of the worst for innovation. So, yeah, that's my first thing. Just let's eliminate KYC for buying and selling Bitcoin. My second of my 7 wish list items is that we really should allow anybody to sell Bitcoin for cash without penalty. So whether it's a store, whether it's like the old local Bitcoins kind of thing that was outlawed. We really need to just decriminalizing just this idea of changing Bitcoin for dollars. We can't have these anti-money laundering laws that do nothing and cost everybody billions of dollars, as Stephen said. So ability to allow anybody to exchange Bitcoin for cash. My third thing on the wish list is the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Fund. I think it could exist in different forms. The simplest form would be, let's just take the Bitcoin that the U.S. government already has. Let's put it in a lockbox. Let's legislate that it can't be spent for 20 years. And let's talk about later how we can increase this by acquiring Bitcoin through various means. I don't want to get too caught up in how much we buy, how much we're supposed to buy. I think the main thing is just get it started, and we'll go from there. Number 4 is elimination of taxes on Bitcoin. Now, there is a proposal now, a sort of informal proposal to eliminate capital gains tax on Bitcoin, but I would say let's just eliminate all taxes on Bitcoin. There's no real need for us to require people to keep track of, when they bought Bitcoin, when they sold it, if they bought some coffee with it or not. Let's just eliminate all taxes. It's not a big source of revenue for the government right now. It doesn't make sense to look there for revenue. It's just not a good idea. Number 5, we should eliminate all this SEC crypto lawsuits against companies that are trying to innovate in the crypto field, with the exception of blatant fraud, things like BitConnect, where they're just taking money and buying Porsches with it or something that we can't have. Number 6, I would say the ability for banks to hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Now, this is a big one. It can happen without any kind of new law. We had this SAB 121 passed Congress, passed the Senate. It was vetoed by Biden. It's ridiculous. We got to allow that, SAB 121. And the last one, the 7th one, is it'd be great if we could have in-kind Bitcoin for ETFs. So I can take some Bitcoin, can move it into an ETF. I can take from the ETF, I can move it back to Bitcoin. No tax consequence. They're just, and it should be very, very easy. So in-kind Bitcoin for ETF. So that's my list of 7. If you got more, just leave your suggestions in the comments. I put this on Twitter. Got a bunch of responses. I got 21,000 views so far in the last hour of this. My friend and colleague Wayne suggests banks should include Bitcoin in your net worth. I'd argue that's up to the banks. This is more for Congress. And 10 would be, for Wayne, would be Bitcoin collateralized loans, which again, I think we can sort of deal with that as far as a reform of some banking structure once we first get banks to be able to custody Bitcoin. And I think that should do it. I think if we get those things done in this administration, we'll really be on the way to adopting a Bitcoin standard. And actually, I don't want to just say one rule for Bitcoin. I just want to have it all for all cryptocurrencies. Let a million flowers bloom. Bitcoin will emerge as the most decentralized, the ultimate store of value. We don't need laws protecting it. It will win on its own. That's my podcast. Again, if you like my content, hit the YouTube subscribe button, and I will catch you later.